welcome to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit in Raleigh, North Carolina, as we're going to go ahead and take a look at the National Guard's Path to Honor.
After losing their opening match of the tournament to Icons Black, our third seed and pool seed champions Fear stormed back, winning 3 matches to take the pool and advance to the winner's semis. It was there that they faced off against Columbus champs Optic Gaming. Fear's key to victory against the highly favored team was to set the tone early. By jumping out to a 5-1 capture the flag victory in Game 1, they were able to keep their pedal on the gas. Led by one of, if not the top slayer in the game, Assassin, Fear outslayed and outran Optic Gaming and both capture the flags and domination to secure a spot in the winner's finals. Their opponent will be none other than Eon Envy, who stormed through Pool D with an undefeated record, refusing to drop even a single game. In the winner's bracket semis, they met the single most talked about team in the tournament, 17th seeded Collapse. In a series where neither team had a definite edge, points were scarce. Envy played smarter and took advantage of their opportunities and both captured the flag overtime matches. When it came down to the final game, Dito put the team on his back in clutch situations and made sure Envy came out on top. After an impressive run that included an undefeated trek through the open bracket, Collapse ultimately fell short to an impressive Envy squad. Envy has looked strong throughout the tournament, but they'll have their work cut out for them with a fiery Fear team. While no team has ever won a Call of Duty Black Ops event from the winner's bracket, both Envy and Fear feel they have what it takes to break that streak. A spot in the finals is on the line. Eon Envy versus Fear coming up next.
And so that's going to be the matchup that we're going to see out here on the main stage here in Raleigh, North Carolina, here for the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit for Call of Duty Black Ops. I'm Corey Dunn, and this is Tim Kennedy.
What's going on?
As I want to take advantage of, we had you on here at our previous events, and we talked about your MMA, we talked about your Special Armed Forces, but this go around, I want to take a little bit of a different approach and talk about some of the tactics that are involved in real life and how they're applied into gaming as well.
Curiously, every time I watch these guys play, the correlation between how we do things and how we communicate in combat is very similar to how these guys talk and actually clear rooms and approach the battlefield. We use a lot of things like MDMP, the military decision-making process, and METTC, taking all these different factors when we're making decisions about how we're going to do something, and they do the exact same thing.
Exactly.
And it's pretty awesome.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the first question that I have is, whenever a gamer notices that a player is running behind a wall, he knows that he's there. Sometimes, typically, what will happen, we've seen it with Eon Optic Gaming's Rambo. He noticed that a player was coming around the corner, and he was ready. He was already setting up a shot, and he was pre-firing because he knew that he was going to come out at some point. Do you do that whenever you're in real-life combat?
Absolutely. METTC is an acronym that we use. It's where you're considering the mission, the enemy, the troops, the terrain, civilian casualties, the available time that you have, and that's exactly what these guys are doing. What type of weapon am I using? If I'm shooting a 50 caliber and a guy's running behind a wood wall, I'm going to zip right through that.
Right.
If I'm using a pistol and he's running behind a concrete wall, I'm not going to do that. If friendly fire's in play, I have to consider where my other troops are. Am I going to be shooting through the wall not knowing what's on the other side? What's on the other side of the wall behind that? Am I going to be hitting one of my guys that's waiting to grab the flag? Or, those considerations of the METTC, it's an acronym that we live by. We take all these different things into consideration before we make a choice. I love shooting people through walls because they can't see me, but I know that they're there.
Exactly.
A round's traveling at 2,800 feet per second. It's a 150 grain bullet. It's going to zip through that wall and definitely hit that guy.
All right, so one of the other questions that I had is going into the equipment base. We notice a lot of these gamers, they have the ability to respawn, but if we're focusing on the idea of search and destroy, where their equipment is already limited, where they have to go into a certain room, they utilize a stun. But what do you do? How do you know that if you're going into multiple rooms, you're going into a building that has more than, let's say 5 different rooms that you need to check? What do you do?
Amazingly, these guys know these maps, so perfectly well that you know, if we're going to go do a hit on an HVT, a high-value target, we're going to know the layout, or hopefully we'll know the layout of where he's going to be. Let's say, you know, Bin Laden, his compound, all the different rooms. If he's in the last room and that's where he's been, we know he's going to have a PSD element, you know, a private security detachment that's going to be protecting him. So I only have so many grenades, I only have so many flashbangs, I have to know when to use them. You know, if I'm clearing a room, I always want a flashbang to go in before me. You know, I don't want to be running. I don't want to be the first thing through the door. I want something to go in there and knock the guy's equilibrium around, his vision. You know, and then for me to follow that flashbang in. Of course, you have to take into consideration if that guy's 6, 7 rooms deep. I only have 4 or 5 flashbangs. You know, I got to save some for where I know I'm going to have contact. You know, if I know that they're going to be sitting on top of, you know, in a search and destroy, they're going to be sitting on top of the headquarters trying to protect it. And there's going to be guys back there. I need, you know, to take care of my flashbangs to save some for later, just like I would in combat.
Well, you brought up a good point, because in gaming-wise, whenever you toss out a stun or a flash, if you're just on the other side of a box or a different type of object, it doesn't affect you. Is that the same case here?
No. The overpressure, which is as the flashbang goes off and explodes, it increases the felt volume of pressure in that room. The smaller the room, the less entrances, the less windows that there are, the more pressure that there is in the room, and the more felt pressure that there is. That overpressure, depending on the size of the room, you know, can really hurt. So if you're hiding behind a table, that doesn't change the pressure of the room. You know, you might not get the dust that kicks up from it or the shrapnel that gets blown up into it. You know, so you may not get that stuff flash into your face, but the pressure of the room is definitely going to knock you around. So that's definitely not how it feels to be flashbanged. You know, we have things that are 2 bangs, 5 bangs, 10 bangs, where you throw a flashbang in the room and it goes boom, 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 boom. You know, by the time you're at the end of five bangs, you just like want to lay on the ground and just hold your ears and suck your thumb.
So that you're probably not going to be able to get away from a frag grenade the same way either, huh?
No. A frag grenade reaches everybody. The Semtex grenades, that's a pretty neat tool. Unfortunately, it's not something that is as usable in combat. You know, the frag grenades, one of the greatest things out there. You know, if I'm going into a building, I've already been shot at from the building, that's a bad building. You know, I'm not going to be flashbanging those rooms anymore. I might be frag grenading those rooms to clear them. But how you see these guys bounce the frag grenades off walls, that's something that we do. You know, if you're going to be clearing 2 rooms deep, you know, you can bounce the frag grenade off the wall into the next room. Those are all great technical things that we really do in combat that they're doing here in the game.
All right, so one of the other things that we can talk about is some of the player strategies that are involved going into a matchup. Now, a lot of these gamers, like you mentioned, they have a lot of time, and they've really kind of broken down each one of these maps, from what to how do you bounce a grenade off a wall, whether you can make a perfect precision nade fall into a domination site. How much time do you have whenever you get into a situation that you have to prepare?
How much time you have to prepare before you go in, it depends on the mission. You know, a lot of times, you know, we're sitting there and we get an HVT notice, like we know a bad guy is here, a high value target is in the area, so it's instant. You have to go get him because you know that he's there. Sometimes you have a lot of methodical process of planning, like I was talking about the MDMP, the MET-TC, where you're taking as much time as you have available. You're rehearsing, you're practicing. We're warming up. We do line drills where we draw the buildings, the whole entire building on the ground, rock drills where we make simulations, like with rocks sometimes, buildings if we have, and we move the different moving elements on the battlefield to plan for how we're going to do this. These guys, you know, you see the teams warming up, you see the teams working on their commo, what they're going to be saying to each other during the event or during the fight. You know, it's similar. It's as much time as you have, you know, to prepare for it.
What happens though whenever an idea that something that has been planned out, because a lot of times what happens with some of these search and destroy strategies, they have this idea of what they want to go for, and something puts a kink in that. What do you do? Is there any? Do you break away immediately? Is there a leader? Is there somebody that sits there and keeps everybody under control?
There's always a leader, and there should always be a leader. You know, in these instances here, it's the coach. You know, for us, we have a rank system that's in place, and you're going to have a team leader, and then you're going to have the follow-up team leader, and you know, you're going to have separate teams, and you're going to have a squadron team leader. So everybody knows the chain of command and who's in charge, and if that guy gets hurt, who's stepping up next. Murphy's my nemesis. Murphy's always there. Murphy's that expression that something's always going to go wrong, regardless of how perfect of a plan is. Something always goes wrong. You know, I'm a believer that the best gunfights are the shortest gunfights, but that never happens. For some reason, something goes wrong and everything takes longer than it should. You know, there's another expression that smooth is fast, or slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Things start taking more time, things start going wrong, Murphy starts kicking in, and then you just have to adjust on the fly. That's where how much you practice really comes in, and that's when you can really see the guys that are excelling in the competition is they've been practicing, they've been putting the time in, they've been working with their team, so when things start going wrong, they know what to do.
Well, okay, so what we have the experience in gaming is we have the visual and we have the audio, and sometimes we'll get the vibration through the controller, but we're missing the other elements where you can smell the area that you're in. How many other different factors come into play that we're lacking in this gaming industry?
Smells a big one. The depth perception. The Modern Army franchise or Activision has really done a great job of implementing some of the things that like when a grenade goes off and the blood and the dirt gets on you, that's really how it feels. But the overall feeling that you have in your body, the senses of like, there's no way I can describe how a building in Afghanistan or Iraq smells, but there's been a few times where I've smelled something and it just brought me right back there. Since smell is a very powerful thing.
Agreed.
I'm not sure I want to play a video game where I can smell the things that you're experiencing on the video game.
It seems like sometimes that's the case here. But one of the things that I want to bring up, though, is these gamers, they have to be a gamer, be a professional gamer, but also go to school. How do you do that with the National Guard?
One of the greatest parts about the National Guard is they really encourage you to have a civilian career. It's an opportunity for you to serve your country, but continue as an individual, not only as a soldier. Whether you're a student or a professional, some of the military educational benefits that are out there, paying for tuition assistance, paying for your books, paying for a loan repayment program, the GI Bill. You could pretty much go to school for free and have the military pay you while you're going.
It's not bad.
No, it's not a bad deal at all. And be a full-time gamer. Like your job's gaming, you're a student, and everything's being paid for by the Guard. It's a pretty neat opportunity the Guard can do.
It's also helped you with your MMA career. We've got you here on the cover of the Muscle and Fitness magazine here. Hopefully that's not all Photoshopped. They can't. I'm just playing.
A kid yesterday was like, that's all CG, and I was like, no. What are you talking about? Come here. So the National Guard has been really, really generous in how they've helped my training. The MACP, Modern Army Combatives Program, there's a lot of MMA aspiring athletes out there that are like, they want to become professional fighters. The Modern Army Combatives Program is very similar to MMA, and how they train guys, how they prepare guys for fighting in combat is very similar to how we fight in the cage. So through this program, these aspiring fighters can come in, start training, and as they learn how to be a combative soldier, they're getting better at MMA simultaneously. And at the end, the end product is a very great fighter, a disciplined soldier, and then a great athlete.
I appreciate you coming on here. Do you have any other final things that you want to mention before you head off here?
I played with some of the pro guys yesterday, and I love playing, and I was humbled yesterday. The step up in competition here it's amazing. It's an honor to be part of these guys.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here. It's always a pleasure having you on here and talking about the different variations between gaming and real life, and how there's a lot of similarities as well in the combat styles that we see from these gamers. But coming up next, we've got Eon Envy going up against Fear here on the main stage for Call of Duty Black Ops here for the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit. So stick around as we right back.
Here at MLG Weekly, we bring you the most comprehensive first looks at the hottest game releases. This week, our boy Nexy fights the Mexican drug cartel in Call of Juarez.
What's up, guys? It's Nexy. Now, this week I picked up Call of Juarez The Cartel. Somehow this piece of shit is the top 3 selling game of the week. And because I hate campaigns, we're going to check out the multiplayer. Let's get it started. Now, before we hop into the game, I'm going to show you guys some of the customization. Let's start with classes. Think Call of Duty. So I've got my 3 classes here, and some haven't been unlocked yet. You'll unlock these as you get more kills and complete challenges when you're playing multiplayer. There's actually a lot of customization in this game. First, you choose good guy or bad guy, but then you can change their skin. Check this out. So right now I'm the bad guy. I want to choose a bad guy that represents me. Oh, perfect! It's the cast of the Jersey Shore! I'm going to play as the Situation. Alright, now that I finally got into the game, I'm going to give you guys my 3 tips. Number 1, change your controls. Hit start, hit Y, go over to controls, and you'll see here there's look dead zone. Drop that all the way down. You don't want any look dead zone, and I personally like to drop my sensitivity just a little bit. You guys toy around, find what you like, but just get rid of look dead zone. It's worthless. Alright, here's my second tip. You see the guy with the little green marker on him? That's your partner. The closer you are to your partner, the more beneficial. Your abilities are boosted and you can resupply ammo. So always stick next to your partner.
Check the evidence room.
Yo, what's up, partner? Come on, man, boost my abilities. What's this guy doing? Yeah, I'll help my wounded partner.
Fine, come on.
Get up! Alright guys, here's tip number 3 for you. Because the maps are so big and open, there's so many little crevices you can get behind, it's really easy to set up the spawn trap. So every single game you play, just run into your enemy's spawn and set up for the spawn trap. And here's a bonus tip for you. After you've changed your controls, stood by your teammate and set up the spawn trap, go back to GameStop and return the game. Alright guys, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Call of Juarez The Cartel. I'm coming to you live from my mama's house. I'm Nexy, and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here alongside a YouTube legend, Mr. Woody's Gamertag, and you've kind of made your career off of trying to gain, your skill set through progression. And how do you see these teams here? And you've been watching MLG for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen progression throughout these teams in the last couple events?
What do you mean by progression through the teams?
Just new skill sets, new tactics.
My personal progression?
Well, yeah, your personal
So
progression.
what I have seen is this, right? When I watch these guys, I learn something new every
Yeah.
time. I see new lines of sight. I see things that I do that they do just a tiny bit different that makes a huge difference, right? They cut their, what I'll call their shootable profile in half by just adjusting a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the nade spots. The
nade spots are getting better and better each event.
Oh, Summit in particular, they're stupid. I didn't even know there were some of these windows in the sky. These guys are just insane. Did you catch the Optic match that just happened?
I caught Game 1. I didn't actually catch Game 2 and 3, but
in Game 3, they were on firing range, domination, and so for people that don't know, they play each side in the competitive playlist. They play each side, and then they play a side, they switch, and then whoever wins by the most points added up wins. Is it 6 or 8 minutes at the MLG level?
6.5.
6.5 minutes. They were down by 68 points on the first map.
Wow.
And on the first side, and then they switched, and they won by 80 and came back, and that was their third map, and that was the end. It was insane.
That's such a hard thing for a team to do and come back at. You can never lose track of your overall goal, but when you're down that much, there's got to be something in the back of your head that's constantly eating away at you. We got to get back at this. We got to do something. And I know for one, Optic is so focused, and Rambo helps that. And with the players he's got as well, it just they've always seemed to be able to come back from a slump.
To me, it's one of the differences between a pro team and like my team. If we're down by 70 points after the first domination match, we're half likely to say, let's just roll to the next map. You got this. All right, good game. Let's play map 3.
Yeah.
But a pro team, it's no quit, right? Until the math says they can't win, they're going from beginning to end, and they showed why that can matter.
Wow.
68 points in 6.5 minutes.
Yeah. I also managed to catch one of Leverage's earlier matches where they were playing against Next Threat. Next Threat did a 90-point gain back on the first half of one of their firing range domination maps, and to me that was an amazing feat. And what causes those comebacks can be one little thing. I managed to speak with Proofy, and he was saying that hey, I missed one kill. One kill landed us the triple cap against us, and we weren't able to come back, and they managed to gain all their points back.
I was standing next to Hastro. He's the coach for Team Envious, and Hastro was like 68 points. That's not an impossible margin.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, aren't you cute?
Well, essentially, 68 points is 2 minutes at a triple cap. So
at 36 points a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
So 2 minutes seems like for me,
when
you're playing domination, it seems like a lifetime to be able to fend off the people from trying to get a flag. And you're always going back. You're always in the gunfight, it seems, and you're always fighting for your life.
And that was against the guys that just won the previous event.
Yeah.
Not a joke team.
Not at all.
Not at all.
So we're going to go and jump down to the main stage right now with Zach and Stainville for the interview. And I want to thank Woody, so much for continuously joining us here on the stage. And hopefully we'll continue to see some of your action. Woody's Gamertag, the unexceptional gamer, but very exceptional commentator. And thanks again.
It's an honor. Thank you.
What's going on, Stainville? How you feeling?
Pretty confident today, actually.
Great to hear. You guys have had a rocky start to the season. It's where am I going with this? Anyways, I'm blanking. Sorry. Start to the season was very rocky. Now you're in the winners finals. What's changed?
Well, we actually kept the same roster for 2 events. And like everyone knows who plays Call of Duty, team chemistry is probably the most important thing. And we kind of kept the same strats going in, so we didn't really need to work on that. It was all team chemistry during the 3 weeks since Anaheim. And I think that's really what's been keeping us in the game. And this is the first time we won a pool play, so our confidence level is through the roof right now.
Now, you've talked about team chemistry a bit. Talk to me about how the games evolved.
Since the beginning, I mean, the rules have changed so much. Even going into this, the switch to 4 from 6 in S&D kind of threw us off a little bit. One mistake and, you pretty much lose the map. But we're taking it one map at a time. We really don't even look at the all 5 map series until the next map. So we're kind of just taking it one at a time. And hopefully we can pull this out.
And finally, how are you going to deal with Team Fear's aggressive playstyle?
I don't know. We play a little bit more conservative, and we make less mistakes than some of the other teams. So I think we'll be fine. That, and I haven't lost to Fear in a very, very long time, and I don't plan on it.
All right, guys, there you have it. Stay tuned for the Winners Bracket Finals up next. I recently got my hands on the Uncharted 3 beta, and I wanted to give you guys my first thoughts and impressions on the game. The customization in the game is broken down into 2 different categories. Competitive, which deals with your weapon traits, boosters, and kick medals, and your non-competitive, which deals with your appearance and taunts.
There are 5 different matchmaking game types: Team Deathmatch, Free-for-all, Free Team Deathmatch, Hardcore, and Co-op Arena.
Brand new to the Uncharted series is something called kickbacks. The kickback system incorporates the single-player aspects of collecting treasure into the multiplayer. By collecting treasure, you can then use special abilities for your character. As you can see here, I've got a speed boost.
The beta ships with 2 different maps, Chateau and Airstrip. Both are quite enjoyable, especially Airstrip's opening level, in which players battle back and forth, jumping over moving cars to get to a supply plane and lock it down.
With that said, both of these maps felt a little too big for free-for-all. There were times when I would wander the map and not see anybody for 20 seconds. I would say cut the map in half and change it from 1st to 15 to 1st to 25. The melee system was a bit frustrating in that it just became the first person to mash the square button twice. This would even lead to players trading lives. The shotgun and I had a love-hate relationship. As you can see from this clip, it took me 3 shots to take this guy down, and I was pretty close to him. However, in the next clip you can see it was a one-hit kill. Whether it was lag or random spread, when the gun works, it's effective. The last improvement I would make is to make the grenade fuse a bit longer. It seemed too overpowered. If the grenade was anywhere within 5 feet of you, there was no chance of you surviving. All in all, I really enjoyed this beta. With some minor tweaks, Uncharted 3's multiplayer can be great by its November release.
Hello and welcome to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit here for Call of Duty Black Ops. We're right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Duck as we're about to get underway with the winner bracket finals between Eon and V. They're going to go up against Fear. We've seen them. We've seen Fear in the winner bracket finals last time.
Yep.
And they were able to easily take it last time.
Easily.
The matchup against
they played extremely well, but at this level and this day on Sunday, I don't think it's quite so easy.
Well, no, it's definitely not an easy thing. But what they did, they made it look
easy.
They made it look extremely easy.
Yeah, and they're such a powerful team lately, and we briefly touched on it yesterday, and they always seem to be the underdog. I don't know what it is about Team Fear that everybody loves to not get behind, or to the love-hate relationship there, but they always seem to surprise us. They come into these events, they switched up heavily in Anaheim with their roster changes, like almost a completely new roster, yet they dominated the competition. They made it all the way to the finals and just had a hard time shutting out Leverage. But this time, Leverage is out of the way, and they're fairly confident, with that adversary gone, that they're going to be able to provide a trophy this time. So
we'll have to see what's going to happen here for this. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about Eon Envy and what they've been able to do. Bob, who's had a great run so far, but also one of the main members that we need to really talk about is what Dito was able to do.
Dito single-handedly a few times, rocked the boat, made sure that nobody got within that flag, held it down. Some amazing plays, and untouchable control over his gun skill there, you know, wrapping around, not missing the shots, making sure that every time, you know, he has somebody in front of him, that he's going to take down that target, you know, be that clutch player and hold it out for his team to get back into action, you know, work their way off of the respawn, get back into position and help him out.
We'll definitely see him come into fruition there on Capture the Flag on firing range. That's the 4th game type.
Yep.
We watched what he was able to do there. I think that he's going to make somewhat of a splash there on the first game. Therefore, Capture the Flag on Hanoi. I don't think it's going to be as great, but because his teammates are going to do so great as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an even matchup throughout. You know, we got all these guys, you know, are so powerful. They're going to work around the map very nicely, but they got to deal with this next adversary right now. So this is Capture the Flag on Hanoi. You know, there's 2 sides to it. First team to capture most wins, obviously. Bus flag, you know, most teams like to gather the most flags on the well. It's an easier escape route, so you got to be careful on which side you get first. And we're going to see how Team Fear places in this matchup. And we've always seen Team Fear, you know, come out super strong on these CTF games. Hopefully they'll be able to hang it out here and face off against Eon Envy. Let's jump right into game and get down into the action and see how this all pans out.
Well, like you mentioned, Fear is definitely a tough competitor whenever it comes to Capture the Flag. And watching them, they really just completely dominate getting into each one of these matchups. But let's go ahead and start right on board with John. John, last time in his matchup on Capture the Flag, he had 29 kills going up into his matchup against Optic Game. Let's go ahead and see how things are going to go ahead and get started here right now. Already Assassin's been able to pick up 2. As again, John still working back around through that B-bomb site area. Let's see if he can be able to wrap back around over there through the guillotines.
Yeah, right here. Now, ooh, nice shot as he takes out Stainville there, but then getting taken back out by Dito, playing it nice in that top spot in top theater. Very powerful point to hold on this map. You know, it allows you to float through so many points, you know, check out the cuts and, you know, support your players when they go down, and be in that position is very vital to the success on this map. And as you see there, he's engaging from top theater, looking into top light, almost taking out Fizzerb. Fizzerb soaking up a little bit of markers, but John and Assassin now forcing Dito to kind of back up yet again and play the defensive role that he's so used to.
All right, so one of the things, though, that's going on right now at this very moment, I'm going to keep you updated as much as I can, is the matchup between Collapse and Eon Optic Gaming. I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing a matchup between Optic Gaming and Envy in the finals.
Yeah.
But if that's going to be the case, Fear has the lead right now currently over Optic Gaming, if that's going to be the case. But we'll get into that if that comes about here in the matchups here in the Call of Duty Black Ops tournament. As right now, Fizzerp, he's got the flag. He's starting to be able to make his move. As there was a quick pick up there by Bob, but he gets taken down there by Twiz. Twiz picking up 2. As he still continues to be able to move up there. Fizzerp watching his backside. He's waiting for his teammates to be able to come back and regroup. And Nadeshot with a great takedown there into Fizzerp. As now Nadeshot's been able to pick up the flag. He's able to get a return. And just been able to pull it out there as he gets dropped there by Assassin.
That was some really nice placement. Nadeshot managed to make his way around the player that was in long or past the window jump up that he's looking at right now, and he snuck behind the well, and the well is such a perfect place. It's a really strong head spot to use. You know, you're limiting the amount that the enemy can even see you, and I don't think when he tried to cap that flag that he even was aware that Nadeshot was there, and you know, it was just a plain and simple nice cap or a nice recap and great placement on his AF.
Just a few moments ago, Collapse was able to take the first game type there against Optic Gaming. As right now we've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here, as we're back on board here with Assassin, as he's just taking his time, and finally we'll start to be able to make a move here.
Yeah, Assassin's going to push in here and check out the initial spawn. I think there might have been somebody. Yeah,
one.
He did spot somebody. He's looking for him, and he has spotted him downrange by Yellow, and he's placed up on the car.
Oh,
but
wow.
Nice grenade, taking out Bob in the backside of Yellow. Now he's going to be pushing up, looking for support on this playground, but he's got somebody in front of him, passed through, but the Stainville respawn caught up with him, and he wasn't able to make it out.
Assassin, he spotted one on the radar. That's what initiated his push. As now we got 1:40 left to play, and both the flags are back in their spawns. As right now we're on board here with Twiz, as he's going to go ahead and continue to be able to wait for his teammate to regroup. He's got a teammate right now inside of the movie room as they're still working their way up. It looks like he might be the one that's going to go ahead and get a pull here. Nice shot there into Nade's shot. He's going to be able to get a pull. Remember, one was inside this movie room, but his teammate bailed out of there, and Dito's going to be able to take him down. As right now, I have said that Dito's not going to come up big. He's 9-2, proving me wrong right now.
Dito is doing really well. He's placing himself up in that main spot, top theater, and it's really forcing a lot of plays to happen on his behalf. Taking the initial cutoffs, watching down mid-range, and then denying any attempt to get into top light as well.
His name says it all. It says Dito Swagger. And right now, the way that he's been playing at this tournament is definitely proving himself that he's worth it all. As right now, again, 38 seconds left here to play in the first half. We've only seen a couple flag pulls on both sides.
Yep.
As right now, again, we're back over here on board here with Twiz is probably going to end up at 0-0 here in the first half. As you can see, Twiz is on the defense. And able to take down Dito. As now, again, this is going to be, it's going to do it here for the first half. 0-0. Eon Envy just loves to make it interesting whenever they play Capture the Flag.
Yeah, coming down to the wire yet again, but we've seen Team Fear pull it out in the last few seconds. We've seen them in that matchup yesterday with the shotgun run that single-handedly brought that victory into effect. So I'm curious if we're going to see that same mentality be used again. And I had another opportunity to talk with Optic Hex, and Optic Hex was mentioning that Fizzerb is one of the smartest players on the circuit right now, and he was analyzing all these different nade throws from yesterday. So that tells me right there that Team Optic is really doing their homework against Team Fear here, looking to see how they're going to take out this team and eventually, hopefully, take the lead on them.
As right now, Bob's been able to get the pull, and he's regrouped there with his teammate. That is Nade Shot on the other side of the map. Nade Shot's going to get taken down there by Fizzerp, as right now you can see Stainville trying to wrap around and try to be able to help out Bob on this pull, and he misses his shot. Twiz there inside of that middle connector, and Bob still continuing to be able to push back around. He's over there in that back house, as Twiz was able to slide in after taking down Stainville and being able to get a flagpole of his own, as now Bob has to help. They have to be able to stay up here on top. He had a teammate coming in to be able to help him out, but right now he's just going to have to sit back here inside of his own spawn and see if they can be able to take out Twiz.
Yeah, this stalemate's going to be very difficult for either team to stop right now. It looks like Eon Envy is content with running a two-man team defending this flag, but this top side is pretty scary. Nades are going to come from all over the place, but the second defender is really going to help out Bob. I'm more interested to see what's going on the other side of this map right now, seeing how this team's going to try and track down the enemy flag and end this stalemate right now.
Let's go ahead and kind of look around and see what's going on with the setup that's going on here. You can see Dito is one that's trying to put a lot of pressure on Twiz, but right while we were switching back, John was able to take down Bob. As Stainville comes back in, he's been able to pick up the flag, and this is kind of what's working out for him. He spots one. He's got to wait for his teammate to come back around. That was Dito. Dito taking down John, and so right now you can see Stainville is setting up shop up here on top of the roof. As he'll just kind of hold back here. He's going to have to hold his own for a little bit.
I say it all the time that this is one of the most difficult positions to be in when you're defending your flag. It's so nerve-wracking, and it's very difficult to hold on to. The opposition, though, is doing just as good a job as this team, holding on to their flags. It's going to be a stalemate for quite some time here, unless they do a full. I think they're going to have to do a full-on push.
Right now it seems to be like a 1-versus-1 battle. John and Dito going at it here inside of as they continue to be able to push here. But Dito, let's go ahead and take a look. Dito's sitting at 17-6. I would like to switch over to Dito and see if he can continue here.
And Dito is rocking it right now, 17-6, 18-6, whereas other teammates have not even made it into double digits. He's a one-man wrecking crew right now, and what an amazing player, just rocking it out right now.
As you can see, that was Dito and Nate Shot, who are applying pressure there onto Twiz. One of the things they need to worry about, though, is they're going to start to force them to spawn out of that region, and which will work out for them. But Nate Shot pushing up into that back house, almost being able to pick up one, and Dito finally being able to take down Twiz, returns the flag. Here goes Stainville, but he doesn't have any teammates. That's why he hasn't pushed out just yet. He's trying to hold it out here, waiting for something to be able to open up, and John comes back in, slides in, able to pick up the flag, and again, they're just coming in with some great counter pulls as Assassin pushing in, and Nate Shot and Stainville both go down, and the flag gets returned. Great work coming in here by Fear, as Stainville knew that he couldn't push out, and he was locked up in the house.
Wow, I can't even tell you how frustrating it must be. Dito getting taken out. He went on a 5-kill streak to take his flag back to base. They weren't able to cap it, and they weren't able to do anything at that point. That's so frustrating.
This is going to be the worst analogy ever, but Stainville felt like Rapunzel there in that house. He could just not get out of there.
Well, he was... I agree with what he did. He didn't have the support on the flag. He didn't know if any of his bases were covered when he went down the direction.
Wow.
He just was not at any point to be able to take that flag back and cap it. So it was a team effort there. Unfortunately, all of Dito's work amounts to nothing.
He goes 21-8 here in this matchup, and Fear is going to take this game 1-0 here on Capture Flag on Hanoi. Make that too. The only thing that's going to happen here is Fear is going to be able to get another one because Twiz had a pull earlier. So in 2-0, nonetheless, though, you're going to have Fear taking this matchup here on Capture Flag Hanoi. And right there, it's just a lot of pressure that goes on to Dito. He went 21-8 that I can go back to on that, but it's tough because they were in a perfect position. Dito applying the pressure. Nate Shot was joining him as well, pushing there against Twiz there on the backside. And then finally they were able to open something up, but Stainville could not leave that house.
Yeah, Stainville didn't have the teammates with him to secure the area before making his way down to the flag. He didn't want to chance it. I'm fully in agreement with what he did there. He just didn't want to chance it. Unfortunately, Team Fear is that CTF team right now. Every time we watch them, they do something new and throw everybody off guard, and it's a really great game, and they are just showing it.
All right, so just like what we've done all weekend long, make sure you go to www.facebook.com. /MLG Pro to keep informed, as well as twitter.com, and also on teamliquid.net //MLG. And we'll kind of keep you up to date, not only on Call of Duty Black Ops, but Halo, League of Legends, and StarCraft too. So stick around. We got more to come there in the winter bracket finals here for Call of Duty Black Ops. We'll be right back here with Eon Envy and Fear.
Bob was trying to get in their base the whole time, so it's, understandable. Don't worry about it. Good.
That actually does help. That lets everything out.
Funny.
We just got a clutch, guys.
Yep.
All right, so welcome back to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit for Call of Duty Black Ops. And right now, quick update for those of you that want to know what's going on over on the feature stage for those of you that are at home. And right now, Optic Gaming has been able to tie the matchup against Collapse 1-1.
That's going to be a hard one to call as well. Collapse is doing phenomenal this event. Joining teams, making this new team, calling it Collapse. A lot of pros on there. And you mentioned it earlier. There's some people, all from Team Force, doing very well in this event, but not able to do well together.
Well, whenever they had to combat against one another with Force and Collapse in the matchup, they had to figure out who was going to be able to come out on top. And Collapse so far has been extremely strong. Well, let's go ahead and deal with the match that's at hand right now. As we've got Eon Envy and Fear. They're going to be heading into Search and Destroy on firing range, as right now Fear has a 1-0 lead.
and we're going to be jumping on board the offensive side. John, with his team here, Fear, and it looks like we're going to see, a lot of push towards A on this. This is typically what we see for the majority of these maps, and the team that holds down the offensive side tends to do well. When they move to defensive side, we've seen how many more percent of the time that it's getting taken, right?
It's more so that we've seen a lot of the defensive side on firing range come out on top, correct?
Yeah, I kind of explained that wrong, but when they're on the defensive, it seems like the defensive team always wins. But if they manage to get the one offensive round and they push it every time on the defensive, they come out on top. Team Fear does a really good job of that. They're switching up all over the map, and they force plays to happen. They make the other team uncomfortable getting into these plays, and they challenge them and take it in advance.
It's going to be down to a 1-on-2 here with Assassin going up against Dito and Nate Shot. Dito's been able to pick up 2 so far. As right now, Assassin, we've seen him in highlights. We've even heard of some of his commentaries about what he's able to do in these 1v situations, as Assassin is starting to play a little aggressive, and Dito in a great placement up there on top of that CG to be able to pop one, as the round will go to Eon Envy. As you can see, just a great location.
Yeah, he was not biting that bomb plant sound, just waiting for him to come out and take advantage of it, grab the kill, and pushing his way onto the offensive. And if they are gonna try and stop Fear, like I said this yesterday, you got to stop them in their tracks right away. And if you let them get ahead, two maps, you're going to be in some trouble, as Team Fear really is one of those teams to gather their momentum.
As right now it's a 1-0 lead here off the start here for Envy, as now we take a look here and see if Fear can be able to answer back here on the defensive side. We've hopped on board here with Bob. They're putting a lot of pressure over here towards this A bomb site here for Envy. As you can see, they've got multiple members heading down there towards jungle side. A lot of stuns have been utilized, and John was able to start things off there, taking down Nate Shot. It still seems as if they're committing, and Bob's watching that backside, so they're doing a great job of watching their flank.
Yep.
And it's a good little setup. But the issue is they're having to funnel through this region to be able to get here towards this bomb site. As Fizzer finally gets taken down, Bob spots one. I'm going to go ahead and assume that's John. As again, it's down to a 2-on-2 as that frag grenade connects there into John, as I was mentioning. As they'll go ahead and can be able to continue back in here. Bob's going to go ahead and get planted here inside of the site.
Yeah, right now we're seeing a very strategic Team Eon Envy, pursue this bomb plant as well as the defensive side. And Dito is really on fire right now. 5-0, holding it on CTF, not able to secure the win, but they're coming back very strong here on Search and Destroy, and taking it away one step at a time against Fear.
I don't think I've seen it once that a bomb has been planted inside of the B bomb site here on firing range and be successful at that. They were able to continue. They committed the entire time to that A bomb site. There was no question about that.
You were talking yesterday about how important it is to practice and stay on top of the retakes. It seems like Team Eon Envy has practiced their search game, just seeing their setups. They're very definitive. You're not seeing like the wish-wash, choosing halfway through. We're seeing defined setups.
And defaults with different rule sets make a lot of sense. But with game time, so the way that this rule set is set right now, I think it makes more sense to kind of have a little bit more of a definitive direction. Sometimes what we're talking about, what you're mentioning, is called a default strat, where you set up across the map and you wait for an opening, you wait for an entry. As right now Twiz is spotted one over there towards the inside of the trailer. And he'll go ahead and continue to be able to apply a pressure. And of course, what we'll probably see from Fear here is their default setup. It has been strong, it's been effective. As right there you can see Twiz trying to be able to connect, and Bob helping out his teammate, coming out at the right time. As now it's going to be left up to Assassin, down to a 1 versus 4, taking down Sainville and getting dropped there by Dito. As now Dito, I believe, is 8-0.
Wow, Dito, even with the handgun challenging this play, picking him off from top of the head glitch on the A bomb site. Amazing play and terrific shot right there.
As we'll make sure, I'm going to go ahead and look at all the scoreboards so far. As right now, Dito's sitting at 8-0, Bob at 3-1, and Stainville at 1-3. And the most kills that have come in so far is John and Assassin, who are both sitting at 2 and 3.
Bob's just kind of waiting it out over here, looking to grab a bit of a peek, see if anybody's headed down this A side direction. Center of the map is wide open at the point right now, and he's got 2 members with him on the washroom side, 2 members headed over towards the wood, and it looks like they are just forcing some plays. Beautiful nade by Bob, the overhead, headed towards on the map room and picking it off from that head spot on the barrel, and good play on his half there, checking his corners, making sure it's all going down, but the bomb carrier is headed down first, so his teammates are going to have to get there quick.
He's already got a teammate that's watching over inside of the trailer area. As right now, Dito's going to finally get taken down there by Twiz. Twiz so far has been able to pick up 2. Bomb down inside of the A bomb site, and wrapping around is going to be an 8 shot. He's going to be down to a 1-on-2. They know exactly where he's at right now, and he'll get wall banged there from top wood or maybe even bottom wood through the window. But this round will be picked up there by Fear, as now the score is going to be 3-1 as we take another look. I want to really see where he was at there. We won't really get not an S&D here, but believe that
I think it was the bottom.
He was from bottom wood.
So yeah, they were able to put 1 point on the board. It's a long road ahead of them right now. They still got to win 3 more rounds if they want to pull out the victor on this one. Twiz changing his mind, trying to challenge top 10, switching it back up. We've got some action backside white trailer. Nade shot taking out that. And we're going to have to see what's going on this direction, as they've got all points covered. They're just going to be waiting for some kills to happen.
Well, Fizzler getting taken out early in the round. Even though last time John was dropped early, they didn't make that big of an impact on him. They're on that defensive side, but on the offensive side, looks as if they're going to go ahead and start to apply pressure here towards this towards the B bomb site, down towards the bottom firing range.
He's going to be headed over here. This is dangerous, like you say, because you're forced into this choke point. There's multiple head spots to worry about, and that is right here on the side barrels. He's exchanging, jumps around. Twiz and his teammate, 2-on-1 situation there, coming out on top of that, and now Twiz is backed up on the ammo crates, looking into the B ramp on that head spot. John picking up Stainville from top side of the map. Assassin getting taken up. Dito with a 2. Beautiful play, able to knock down both those attempts, headed over onto the B side, and they played that very well.
John all by himself, having to come all the way around from that A bomb side, as he's going to get taken down from the pack side. Dito 11-1 there.
Wow!
As they take that one 4-1 overall.
That was a quick game, and he managed to get a nice 3-kill round, winning out this victory. And great play so far. Dito is just such a smart player right now, playing all parts of the map, making sure that he's not forcing any engagements that aren't going to get him the victor. But we did see that one beautiful shot on the bomb site.
So not only is he able to get multiple kills, but the reason why is because of his positioning and how he's looking. He's making the shots really easier for himself. And as the previous round, he was able to get 20-plus kills, even though they lost that matchup. So far, we've watched Dito just grow and develop right here. I take that back. He came out strong from the get-go.
Yeah, he's doing very well. Not to take anything away from the whole team victory on that last map, but
they all agree with us on this, though.
Yeah, he's definitely shining right now.
We had the chance to be able to talk down there with Nate, Sean, and Stainville about Dito's performance. They agree. It's without a doubt. As our next matchup, as we're all tied up here, 1-1 here with Eon Envy and Fear, and our next matchup coming up here is going to be on Game Top. It's going to be Domination Summit, and one of the scary things that are coming in here, though, that I would worry about for Eon Envy is how strong. If Fear gets hot, if John can do what he was doing in his domination game, but Fizzerp can set up his little control. We watched him with the spaz there in the latter part. We're going to see some quick action coming in here with Fear, see if they can be able to continue what they've been able to do in the past.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder that if you're here at the event or anywhere else, make sure you pick up the specially marked cans of NOS energy drink, where you can get yourself some pretty neat looking t-shirts, as well as the NOS hoodie, sweatshirt, And it's all good stuff. Make sure you purchase, the specially marked cans of NOS, as that's how you'll get your points and earn them and cash them in for this great stuff.
Good little swag to be able to get there from NOS energy drinks here, as we're going to go ahead and head into domination here on Summit.
And I think both teams are in agreement right now that it's best to simply go for this triple cap, as that seems to be the main strategy that's winning the teams. The only issue is going up against the shotgun might throw a wrench into the team's play here.
Capture the objective.
All right, so far John choosing to go up topside glass, not able to hold on to that kill. Getting taken out. Fizzer with the shotgun. We've seen him do so well with this weapon yesterday, pulling out the 360 on Bob, and now headed towards A, trying to take this only flag point away from the opposition. John now from topside gold, headed towards B, denying Nade shot from gathering it, almost with the 360, or the turn on Dito, but Dito coming up on top of that one. And so far, exciting matchup and very, very aggressive.
For those of you that want the quick update of what's been going on down there with Optic Gaming and Collapse, right now Collapse leading that series 2-1. As again, we're in this matchup here in the winter bracket finals here with Eon Envy and Fear, and Fear and Envy are both tied at 1.
Nice placed nade there by Fizzer, anticipating somebody was going to be headed in through gold, challenging the middle of the map here. War Room headed towards B. They finally pick it up after almost a minute of play, and 10-13 here, barely any points on the board. Fizzer taking the lead, headed towards the opposition. Nade shot finally taking him out, and Twiz responding to that play, making sure that they're getting placement well, but Dito, coming up on top. And then John here, yet again, just going 1-for-1 back and forth. No real dominating team so far, as they seem to just be going back and forth.
Well, for those of you that have been kind of questioning what the name Nerd Shot comes from, that's from Fear's Moho, and just kind of give you an idea. Just kind of give you a quick update, a little insight of what's going on there. Right now we're on board here with John, as he's up there in the high ground. He's going to have to go and fall back, as his teammate's going to go ahead and flow in. And John able to pick off one. He's just going to fall into the headshot there from Dito.
And now we're going to see some, I think once they've got the points on the board, now it's their time to get the setups rolling. Start rotating people through once they die. And a nice pickup there by Twiz as he grabs the headshot. Now they need to float back up into top glass and make sure that nobody gets control of this top side, as C will start to be taken very quick if they let it go.
Twiz, who's got the setup there on top of the catwalk there inside of that main control. Watching there towards the, he had his teammate. He drops down from above, taking down one in pre-fires, hoping that he might be able to catch somebody else off guard.
And it looks like Fizzerp has changed his loadout yet again, surprising us even more, deciding to go with the Spectre, changing it up from the Spaz 12. Maybe he felt like there was too many long shots coming into effect. Twiz deciding,
disagrees.
Yeah, Twiz disagrees. And Bob picking up that kill, and Assassin's now stuck up top here on top glass.
Maybe we had Fizzer if he didn't like his loadout and he asked for somebody to take him out. But now we can still see him with that Spectre. Is right now 56-39, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to be able to play here in the first half. As right now, Fear is leading this one. They've been able to maintain that C and B domination site for quite some time, but right now that B has been picked up there by Envy.
John and his team here now need to take control of the front side of War Room. Make sure nobody's allowed to sneak in. Look at Nadeshot trying to sneak it out, waiting for people to jump on B all at once. 3 go down on Eon Envy. Stainville evening it up there, waiting for the respawns. They finally cap B, and now they're going to be pushing forward and looking for this 3 cap, it seems.
As right now Twiz pushing in, he's able to force him to spawn back over there towards that A side. As right now they're trying to be able to close things down, close that door, try to be able to pick up that 3 cap. But right now we've got Assassin. Assassin having to be able to worry about that B domination side, has now been almost picked up there by Envy. But they're going to have to be able to move back in there, as again still the C and B belong here to Fear as right now.
All right, Fizzerp's now headed up towards spawn, getting spotted by Nate Shot, taken out on the back end. John with the slice and dice, headed towards B's, trying to fend off Nate Shot, which he does. Top glass is now being contended, and they're trying to hit it up. Dito keeps going for that top spot, and I think he's most comfortable, just going for these main kills right now, as he's doing so well and being on board with that shot. John's now defending B all by himself. 2 members start to spawn back on C, and they got to get up to the B side here and start putting the pressure on the opposite spawn.
As right now, Dito's sitting at 13 and 10, Stainville at 9 and 11. As on the other side, John and Twiz doing some work. They've got 17 and 9 there for John and 14 and 8 there for Twiz.
John, just floating back and forth, making sure that this bottom gold is not being left open. Unfortunately, topside glass is taken over and taking out that position. Twiz now forcing some action to go down, but Stainville wrapping away all the way around from topside. And look at Fizzerb now is running the back to his shotgun class.
As right now coming back in here, 107-72 currently, with 50 seconds left to play here in Summit Domination. And Fizzer trying to be able to survive through a bunch of frag grenades. He gets taken down there by Nade Shot.
Yeah, they had that one locked down. I think there was 3 nades thrown in total. If the first 2 didn't get him, that third one ultimately would have. John now placing himself, looking for these respawns, the jump down, and he spotted one, grabbing a nice pickup. Nate Shot goes down. 3 go down on Eon Envy. Dito, last man up, and he now falls to John, and they are pushing for A here in the last 20 seconds.
As they're looking to be able to get at least 15 more points, or make that 9 more points here at the end. Over Envy, as right now it's 127-79 as they maintain this 3-cap.
Fizzerb now placed up top glass here, not going to be able to do anything about that A-cap, fall into the opposition hands, 132-80. Pretty big lead going into second half here against Team Fear. Going to be hard to work their way back, and they're really holding their own. Fizzerb seems to be having a little bit of issues on the board, 9 and 14, not really doing too much work with that shotgun or the Spectre class. Changing it up is an obvious sign of having a little bit of issues, but the rest of the team taking care of the work and making sure that ultimately they came out fairly well in this first half.
You have to feel extremely comfortable as being one of the teammates from John, knowing that he's going to go 20+ each and every time on domination.
John, placed himself really well there, watching those main entry points into B, getting the cutoffs and, watching for spawns and the communication level right there, you could definitely see it. Anytime somebody got spotted, there was an immediate turn from John or Dito, wherever they were, and they placed themselves, just like before, making sure that when they're engaging in any of these fights, that they're always trying to have that upper hand and not forcing any silly plays.
All right, so it's going to bring us into the second half here in Domination Summit. 132-80, a 52-point lead coming in here for Fear, as we're all tied up at 1 here in this series. As we'll go ahead and hop on board and see how this one's going to go ahead and pan out between these two here in the winter bracket finals for Call of Duty Black Ops.
Now back on with Team Fear here on the bottom side, I think they're going to have to be very aggressive to try and get B away from Eon Envy to stop that first initial push. Eon Envy, we've seen before, they like to control that topside glass. When they let them have the C-side spawn, it's going to be very difficult to continuously control this war room. It's a lot easier to gain control off of the respawns, and it's something you got to be worried about and check immediately.
As right now we're going to go ahead and see right off the start, they're trying to be able to get a quick feel for one another. As right now we got Envy been able to pick up 2 so far. We're back over here with Nade Shot currently.
Yeah, we're going to jump back on Eon Envy right now. Nade Shot's trying to take over and head towards B. Dito coming up big, taking out John and Assassin, and headed towards C. Get it taken out by Twiz. Twiz grabs a nice 2-piece defending that C flag, and it looks like they are going to be able to grab A and B here, winning so far. Nobody's been able to have any luck on C, as both teams are running for it time and time again. John and Dito both exchanging nice 2 pieces on the C side, and now they're going to be watching for spawns here.
As right now they've been able to hold down the A and B domination side. If they want to be able to pick up through this 52-point deficit, this is how they're going to have to start. They've got to be able to maintain at least 2 of these domination sites and try to get this spawn trap going here. As right now that A domination site is starting to get picked up there on the other side. They may be able to take out one. As Assassin is the last person standing here so far. He's going to wait for his teammates to be able to respawn. He's up on that top main control. As he's going to go ahead and continue to be able to push back over here towards that B domination site. Dito doing a great job keeping control and able to take out one, as now it's 27-4 with a minute and a half into this game.
Yeah, Dito, I don't know how Fizzerp escaped that initial grenade, but he held on to it, got stunned, and still pulled out the initial gunfight, finally getting taken out from the side, back on the cabinets there. But now Bob's forced to defend everybody, trying to head into top gold, and nobody's watching the backside, the summit entrance into the war room. They're going to probably be sneaking up through that direction, and it looks like, yeah, they are headed towards B very heavily right now. Stainville's going to have to hit this nade.
As right now the nade was dropped in, almost connects. He's able to take down Twiz. But right now the C and B domination site belong here to Fear. We've seen this exact same setup here from Fear. They were able to maintain this for quite some time. Came in, picked up a couple 3 caps from points. As right now they need to go ahead and pick up one. Fizzer feeling comfortable again with that spaz.
Yeah, Bob's, trying to force his way down Summit. He's read easily by Team Fear. Now they're still putting the pressure on A-Flag and trapping them on the backside of the spawn, the infamous spawn trap that Optic put into full use a few times so far in this event. And now Eon is laying into it as well.
They've got to be able to figure out a way to be able to break this right now. Bob and his teammates have spawned over there towards the C domination side.
Yeah, the spawns have now been split here.
And so right now that's what's going to do. Bob's going to go ahead and try to be able to get here on this A domination side. His teammates working over there towards that C domination side. They've been able to pick up the A and C quickly. Bob by himself over here towards the A side, but now they're going to work back over here towards this B domination side. As John able to take down Bob, still being able to continue to be able to push up there as Nate Shop taking out John, so they're kind of working in this one out. They need to be able to pick up a few consecutive kills to be able to open things up so they can pick up that B domination site and get a 3 cap of their own.
Stainville kind of walked into the direction of the fire. I'm not sure if he just didn't think that he was going to challenge it again, but he seemingly just walked into a direction that he didn't have the advantage on, lending himself directly to the kill, and there goes the triple cap against them yet again. Bob going down. Nate Shot and Stainville picking up 1 apiece. Stainville with a 3rd down, and now they need to make a quick play here and grab some flags.
They need to do it right now because they're down by 53 points. As we do some quick math, the best they can do at this point is get a 3 cap of their own and be able to tally in 72 or 72 points. And they've got to make it up right now.
Yeah, they don't have much time or much of a buffer zone to work with. A goes down. Stainville tried to pick up a play and hold on to the exit route. Not able to get anything going on. He's losing a fight that really should not have happened. John picking up the big kill in there. Dito finally ending that. Nade Shot and Dito again with 3 more down on Team Fear. But, only picking up B at this point, they're going to be in some trouble.
Almost 5 minutes into this game, and finally somebody has been able to reach the double digits there for Envy. They're all sitting right around that 10 kill range and just not at the level that they're wanting to be at. This game has gone a lot slower than the previous half.
Wow, Dito's shot, man, is so strong. But look at this, Fizzer responding, nailing out the one-hitter quitter, just denying any attempt headed towards that triple.
As right there, Bob's going to get shut down there by Assassin over there towards that summit side. As right now, Dito pushing in, trying to be able to pick up one. He's going to be grouped up there with Nate Shot. Fizzer pushing in there, who was able to drop Dito with that spaz. As now again that B domination site is under a little bit of pressure, and finally Nate Shot able to take him down. Pushing in, this one is going to be over. I'm going to go and call it now, as they have to make up for 52 points from that first half. and they have to maintain that 36 points in a minute. Not going to happen here.
For sure. Now, Team Fear, coming up with 2 map wins now is going to be very difficult to slow them down. Their search game's on point, and their CTF game is way above anybody right now. They need to hopefully push this here, and Eon's getting a little bit of trouble, I think.
So that's going to bring us to capture the flag on firing range. John and Twiz doing a great job in some of these respawn game types and just kind of holding their own, doing, like I said, a great job. They're just putting things together there.
CTF firing range, I would be very worried about going into that map. Eon now down 2 maps. Team Fear is looking sharp, looking great, holding on to what they came here to do. They're thirsty for a first place win.
As right now, again, like you mentioned, they've got a 2-1 lead here over Eon Envy. As I'm trying to get a quick update of what's going on here for the matchup between Collapse and Optic Gaming. As right now, so far, the capture the flag right now, they're a close matchup between the two. As right now, we've got a 3-1 lead here in favor of Collapse. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll make sure we keep you up to date here in the winter bracket finals here between Eon Envy here against Fear. Capture the flag firing range coming up next.
To say that membership has its privileges is an understatement when it comes to what you get when you join the MLG family. Check out this quick video with the 411 on what's to come.
Somebody like you.
What kind of distant music you listen to? You have the game.
I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. Oh my God. I listen to like a lot of different music, but that's the song that
I think that's your main.
Me and my buddy like learned it just to jump around in high school and sing. So.
Let's go. What's up? We're top. We're good.
They're
They're just clutching.
Chicks like
We
this.
need to hold the chicks like this.
Yeah, we do. Especially when